lovely people. My name is Jasmine. Welcome to Faithfully Uncool. Today we're going to be talking all about Bibles. I'll be introducing you to some of my favorite Bibles that I have and use for my own Bible study. So whether you've been a Christian your whole life and you love Bibles and you have a ton, or maybe you're new to the faith, I don't know wherever you are, but these are a few Bibles that have helped me on my spiritual journey. So if you're curious about some of my recommendations for types of Bibles to have or why they might be helpful, then stay tuned. Okay, so the first Bible that I want to walk us through that I suggest everyone has at least one version of is a study Bible. So this is my NIV translation study Bible. I got this in college from a group of friends, and it has been a really great Bible that I've used throughout pretty much most of my, I'd say, adult Christian life, which is not really that long. But I do really appreciate this Bible. And one of the reasons that I like it so much is that since it's a study Bible, it does have the description of certain verses at the bottom. And so I find that really helpful because I suggest that while you're doing Bible study, if you find the Bible confusing to read, or you just find yourself wanting to know more about a lot of passages that you come across, or to maybe know the significance in a biblical story that you might miss without a bit more context, then study Bibles can be a really great tool to use. I think having a study Bible itself, like physical, is really nice because then the notes are just right on the page, but there are a bunch of study tools and resources you can use. I'm sure there's an app for it and everything like that. I just personally prefer to have it in my hand. So this is an NIV translation, which is a pretty easy translation to understand. But I find this is something that I was a religious studies major, so I find this something that I've gone through time and time again, both for academic purposes and also for my own personal study time purposes. Another great thing I love about it is that it is indexed. So instead of having to go to the table of contents and think of like, oh, where's Numbers again? Where's 1 Corinthians again? It's all indexed. So I can just flip right to the section of the book that I think it's in. I don't really know how well this will show up on camera. You can obviously see all my tabs in here. But the Bible itself does have on the side where you can find every section of the Bible when you're looking for a particular book of the Bible, which is really helpful. So I definitely recommend that everyone has their own study Bible. The next book I have is my HarperCollins Study Bible. So this is the New Revised Standard Version, but it was gifted to me by one of my favorite religious studies professors. She was retiring the year I graduated, 2016, for anyone who's curious. And when she was retiring, she gave away a ton of books that she had collected over the years. And one of the books that she gave to me in particular was this Bible. It's a study Bible by HarperCollins. She had it for a while throughout her own academic history and things like that. So one thing that I do really love about it is pretty particular to how I got it. And so I like seeing her notes in it because I'm one of those people where if I borrow something from someone, especially a book, especially something as special to me as a Bible, I like seeing their notes and I like seeing what they thought of certain passages. I think it's just really cool to compare it and see what someone else saw. So I do really appreciate this. I got it from someone that I think is really cool. So there's obviously that part of it that's special to me. And then, in addition to all that, it again is a study Bible like the NIV. So it's going to have notes at the bottom, of the page. It's not indexed, as you can see, like this is all flat. There's nothing there. So you do got to use the table of contents if you don't know where something is. However, one thing that I love about this Bible, that I really, really love about it, that none of my other Bibles have, is that it does have the apocryphal text. So apocrypha is a Greek word meaning secret or hidden, but when we say it in Christian circles, like it has the apocryphal text, we really just mean that it's a Bible that if you were growing up Catholic or you grew up Orthodox, then you already had these books in your Bible. But for me, growing up in more Protestant traditions, I never had these books in my Bible. So when I'm talking about it, I mean books such as Tobit, Judith, Ecclesiasticus, not to be confused with Ecclesiastes. They're two different books. Ecclesiasticus, Baruch, I feel like I'm saying that wrong. First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, Psalm 151, Prayer of Manasseh, First Esdras. There's also other books included, like Wisdom of Solomon. There's also additions to the book of Esther and additions to the book of Daniel that you won't find in other Bibles that are not following a Catholic or Eastern Orthodox tradition. And so I really appreciate that I have a Bible with the Apocrypha. If you're someone who didn't really know that Christians can have two different Bibles and that some Bibles have more books in them than others, then now you know. And these apocryphal books are not in Protestant church books a lot of times, just because throughout church history there has been debate over whether or not they were divinely inspired or not. So most people are pretty neutral about it, like, hey, they might have some useful stuff in them, but they're not as important as the canon, what we would call the original, or not even original, but like set Old Testament and New Testament books. However, the Apocrypha, the apocryphal texts, or deuterocanonical texts that you might hear them called, are in, like I said, Eastern Orthodox and Catholic Bibles. So I really do appreciate the fact that I actually have a Bible that has them too, and I can get to read them when I didn't really grow up with them. So I think that's cool. All right, so the third and final book I'll be bringing you to is also probably the prettiest book, and that is the Encouraged Devotional Bible, the Christian Standard Bible. And I got this myself. Yes, occasionally I do buy my own Bibles, but thank goodness two were gifted to me, because I don't know about you, but I have rolled into some Christian bookstores and I'm like, yo, your study Bible prices are not very Christian. $50, $60 to get some notes at the end of the page, Jan. Okay. But that's just me, okay? Maybe I'm just, broke-tastic like that. But this book was very nice. It is really nice. It's indexed. Holla at your girl. Laziness, not trying to flip through everything. And it also, one of my favorite things is that it's just so dang pretty. The Christian Standard Bible, the CSB, is also a very easy to understand translation. It's not a study Bible in the traditional way that the HarperCollins and NIV Bible are. I'm trying to make sure this is in the shot. But it is kind of a good Bible to use for Bible study, because at the end of each page you have like lines. So almost like a really great journaling Bible. And I really love that, because if you saw my Song of Songs video, that was one video that I loved making. And I actually used this Bible when I was reading passages in Song of Songs. And I have a bunch of notes at the bottom. I really love that this Bible is just so pretty to look at, so pretty to flip through. It has devotionals in it. So let me try to find one. All right, so you'll find devotionals on different, okay, so this piece is not a part of the Bible. I just kept it on because I'm weird. But so you'll find devotionals on it, like in different parts of it. So sort of, I don't want to say interrupting the book of the Bible, but let's say you're reading like, Isaiah or something. Halfway through or a third of the way through, you'll have like a devotional page where there'll sort of be an expansion on a lesson you can learn or something interesting about what you're reading. And so I just really love it. I think it's a really cool way to design a Bible. Sometimes there are small little passages in it that are separate from the rest of the page to kind of tell you more about a figure in the Bible. So for example, you'll find pages like this where you don't have a devotional, but you might have a quote that's kind of singled out or something like that. And so it's just very artistic, and it's just a really cool Bible to use. It's, like I said, really pretty, really nice to flip through, and I just really love it. So this is something that I would highly recommend. And I found mine at a Lifeway Christian store, I believe, but there are tons. It's on Amazon. I buy most stuff on Amazon. I just happened to wander in a store and grab this one time, but I just suggest that if you get a chance to, that you should pick this up for sure. So with that, we're at the end. All right. So those are my three main Bibles that I really like to use. However, before you go, there's a fourth bonus Bible that I wanted to share, and it knocks every one that I've shared, all three of these, out of the park, and that is because it is 100% free. So two out of the three I showed you were actually free for me too. But I'm just saying, like, in general, the number 4 is free. And that's because it's your Bible app. Okay. The YouVersion Bible app is a really, really great app. I will actually suggest that to anyone who's just starting out. I know that I said that my NIV translation, my NIV study Bible was like my college Bible. However, before I got that Bible, when I was a freshman and a sophomore in college, I just read the Bible on my iPad. I have mentioned in my faith journey testimony video that I read almost the entire New Testament one summer, and I was doing that on my iPad. And so I just think that if you don't have a Bible on hand, and maybe you grew up in a place where you didn't really have access to a Bible, or maybe you are a new Christian, whatever your story may be, if you're coming back to the Bible for the very first time or after a long time, I think that it's nice to just know that it can be right on your phone, and you can still highlight and take notes and do Bible reading plans, and it can be really successful. So if you're someone who is okay with it being electronically based, I really recommend the Bible app on your phone. It's something that I use when your girl forgets to bring her Bible to church sometimes. I just whip out my phone and I have it. So that is another bonus tip for you, and I hope that this video was helpful for you no matter where you might be, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Go in peace.